Hi friends. Hello, hi, how are you? I'm so tired. So today I'm exhausted and I've been doing, if you didn't know, you've been doing a lot of work in my life, and it's been a very busy week, but I decided I wanted to film this video because I haven't posted anything in days and I'm upset about it. So I'm trying to get this video up for you guys. Honestly, I think this video I might be filming and editing and uploading in the same day, and I decided to do this video. Sorry, I'm opening something on my phone that it pertains to this video. I decided to do this video because I had to do my makeup anyway to film another video that I have to film today that has to go up on Saturday because it's a sponsorship. My first ever sponsorship. I'm really excited about it, but I had to film that video and I had to do my makeup anyway, so I was like, why don't I do like a get ready with me? And then my friend Nisa from Nisi Pisa Pisa, she did a video recently called Things I Don't Have Time For, which was kind of an homage to the Queen Jenna Marbles, and I loved her video. I thought it was so good, and I decided that I would do a get ready with me while I talk to you about things I don't have time for. That is what I'm doing. This is the only makeup I've had for like a week because I packed all my other makeup. So I'm gonna put my little headband on, and one of my subscribers sent this to me in my P.O. box. Literally the cutest thing ever. Do I look like I don't have time? I think this is I'm in a really good headspace to film this because I'm very tired, and I also feel like I'm just stressed. So this will be a good way for me to vent about things that aren't the things going on in my life. Okay, I have a little Google Doc where I wrote everything down. This is from Hello Fab, First Aid Beauty. This is their Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. I got this through Octoly, and things I don't have time for. Octoly review. No, I got this through Octoly. I already knew that I loved this because I've gotten samples of it, but they have this cute new like pink packaging that I personally like significantly more than their other packaging, and it doesn't cost any more. It smells so good. This primer is really, really amazing. It's the only one that I didn't pack with the rest of my makeup. This has been the one I've been using the past like week, and I love it. 10 out of 10. If you like really moisturizing, hydrating primer, this one is so good. Anyway, things I don't have time for. The first thing I don't have time for is straightening my already straight hair. This one may seem like weird, but hear me out. So when I was in high school, I had 4 girlfriends in high school that were like my best friends, okay? And they were all very like pretty, and not that I'm not pretty, but like they were all very pretty, and they all like took a lot of time into their appearance in high school, and that just wasn't my life. I didn't like to have to wake up early in order to like look good at a school where like I knew and my school was very small. We had like 60 kids in my graduating class, so I didn't see the point, because at the time the only reason I thought you could look good was for boys, idiot 16-year-olds, and I was like, why am I waking up early to go to a school where I know none of the boys like me like that, okay? I was like, why am I wasting my time doing this? But my friends would always be like, oh my god, you should straighten your hair. I had this one friend in particular who was always like, you should straighten your hair because it looks so much better straightened. Okay, I just want to show you guys. This is like my natural hair, okay? It's straight. It's straight. And then one time when I did straighten it, and I did take the time to straighten it, she was like, oh my god, it looks so much better, you can really tell the difference. And then I was brainwashed, and then I would wake up every single morning and I would be like, I want my hair to look even better, and so I would straighten it. And here's the tea, guys. Here's the real tea. It looks no different. Only difference between me having my hair straightened and having my hair not straightened is my hair is a tiny bit less. First of all, I did sleep on this hair, so it is a little bit more wavy than normal because I like washed it last night and then just slept on it. I understand you're not supposed to do that. I do it, okay? I don't have time. This is just basically natural, and it's got a little bit of wave to it and a little bit of like frizziness, but that's the only difference when I straighten it. There's no like significant difference. I literally will get out of the shower some days and just go out, like just not even blow dry my hair, just let it air dry, and I'll go out and one of my friends will be like, oh my god, your hair looks so pretty straightened, and I'm like, this is it naturally. And honestly, I wish I had like I had a friend that had curly hair, and I thought her hair was just the prettiest thing ever. It was so thick and so curly and so beautiful, and her hair was so long and like gorgeous, and I was so jealous of her hair because my hair is thicker now than it was when I was in high school, but my hair is still very much straight. But also, I'm so happy I don't have curly hair because I don't have time. I don't even like having to take the 10 minutes to like straighten my hair to make it look semi better. Like, I don't have time for that. So what makes me think I would have time for curly hair? Because based on everything I've seen, it's super high maintenance to keep up curly hair. Let's talk about people who crap on other people's makeup looks just to make themselves feel better. I'm not even talking about me in this situation, because to be perfectly honest, I think I could get honestly roasted a lot more for my makeup look. People are relatively nice to me even when things don't turn out great. So I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about, I follow a lot of like smaller MUAs on Twitter who do these like makeup looks that I couldn't even fathom doing. Like they're so beautiful and so pretty, and some of them are really like, you have like K-Swizz, who if you're not following her, you should be. She's fantastic on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram down below. She's so good. And she does these really crazy, like, just like looks like she literally created like an octopus on her, like she's insane, okay? And then you have people like, there's this account I follow called Twintorials, and it's these two twins, and they do these like, just like cool makeup looks. Like it's not anything crazy, it's still definitely like glam, but it's like cool. All of these, I follow these girls, and they're all so much more talented than like I could ever dream to be, right? Than most people could dream to be with makeup. Like they're so talented. And then you have people just crapping on them, being like, I saw this one girl who, she did a look with the new Norvina Pro palette, which a lot of you guys have been asking me to review. I did end up buying it, and I am going to review it, just so you know, it is coming to my home. I saw this girl do this just absolutely like stunning look with the Norvina Pro palette, the brand new one. She looked so freaking beautiful. Like she looked so pretty. The look was gorgeous. And this dumb jerk just comments and is like, a purple smoky eye.
Groundbreaking.
And it's like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to make other people who are so talented, objectively very talented artists, like people who obviously spent hours working on this makeup look, why do you have to go on your stupid account that doesn't even have a real picture of you, it's like a K-pop artist, and crap on someone else? Like, I don't have time for it. I don't understand how people have time to be so mean to other people over a makeup look. I just don't get it. And frankly, if I was one of those people who that was happening to, I wouldn't have time to deal with it. I wouldn't have time to take your criticisms, your suggestions. I don't have time for it. And then it kills me because when other people call those people out, when other people are like, hey, that was really mean, the person's like, oh, I'm just being constructive.
No.
You're being rude. Going along with that, I also hate PR searches. I'm over PR searches. First of all, I don't have time to enter PR searches. Thank you for those of you who tag me in them, because like, it's nice of you. They're not looking for YouTubers. I don't know why brands don't ever look for YouTubers during these PR searches. I don't know why the focus is so heavily on Instagram artists to send PR to. There has to be a reason. And I also don't have time for the way that PR searches tear down like my favorite people on Twitter and Instagram. The ABH PR search is one of the most horrific things to ever happen to the internet. And that might be an unpopular opinion, because it's not even that I'm annoyed with people talking about it, because I know a lot of people hate that PR search because so many people talk about it. It's not even that. I hate the way that I see some of my favorite MUAs get so broken down and sad because they weren't put on the freaking Anastasia PR list, because they're like, well, 2,000 other people are on it, so why am I not on it? And honestly, I get that. That makes sense, but I just hate the way that brands, because honestly, it's happening more and more, because after the Anastasia PR search was so successful, suddenly every brand wants to do a PR search. Suddenly they all care about micro-influencers. Yeah, they really, I'll get into that in a second, abusing micro-influencers, because I don't have time for it. But suddenly after the Anastasia PR search, all these brands were like, oh, we're also doing a PR search. And honestly, all it is free promo for the brand, because you have every MUA and their mother posting about wanting to be on the list. And then if they do get on the list, that's all they're gonna talk about, which fair. Like, honestly, you deserve to brag and you deserve to be excited about getting on a list like that. Like, that's very cool. Getting on PR lists is a very cool and exciting thing. It can do wonders for like accounts and channels. Like, it's a very cool thing. However, if you don't get on it, all of these poor influencers feel like garbage. Like, they feel so bad. They start doubting themselves. They start doubting their skills. And it's just ridiculous that like these brands are purely, they're not doing this. Even Norvina, I'm hesitant to believe she's doing this because she actually cares about micro influencers. Even Norvina, I'm like pretty convinced convinced is just doing this because it's very good PR for her, which is, again, like, it's a business, it's fine, but I don't have time for those. Even when like Makeup Revolution was doing one, I was tempted because I love Makeup Revolution, and I was like, maybe I have a shot. And then I was like, Hannah, you don't have time to constantly have to harass and spam and do all these crazy things that it takes to get on a list like this, and you also don't have the talent. But then at the end of the day, it's like, I think only like out of the thousands and thousands of people who entered that Makeup Revolution one, I think they only picked like 50 people. So like, that's all they picked. Like literally 50 people got that spot when thousands and thousands entered, and those people now feel like they are less than, because it's creating a culture of less than. I miss the days of brands just doing the work that they were supposed to be doing. It's not your job as an influencer or as a micro influencer, as a nano influencer. Like, it's not your job to be constantly promoting brands so that you can try to get on their PR list. Like, that's what MLMs are. Like, that's just sick. They're basically making you do the job for them, because before they had to scout and they had to look for people and they had to try to find people they were interested in. And now it's just this big like thing. I don't like it. You shouldn't have time to enter either. You should make them reach out to you. You shouldn't be begging them for PR. They should be wanting you to give you PR because it's free promotion for them. That's the other thing, whatever. Segueing into this, I don't have time for brands who take advantage of small creators and influencers and brands that are obviously scams. I don't have time for brands that want to scam small influencers. This is one of my biggest pet peeves as of late. And I'm honestly tempted to make like a video about this topic, like super tempted to make a video about this, because I feel like everybody always says like, okay, to smaller influencers and like micro and nano influencers, they're like, don't let people take advantage of you. But as a micro influencer, I'm like, I don't know how much I should be charging. First, I didn't up until a couple months ago. I was like, I don't know how much I should be charging. I don't know what I should be asking. Like, I don't know any of those things because nobody tells you, because for some reason it's supposed to be this like trade secret. I don't have time for brands that purposefully, I'm gonna use the Huda bronzer, that purposefully like scout for these smaller influencers and try to like take advantage of them, or these brands that are like, oh, I'll send you PR, but you have to pay for shipping, or it's like $25 for shipping, or it's like brands who are like, oh, well, if we'll give you a discount code. This happened to me, and I was like, this is a scam. They were like, it was like they were trying to make me like a used car salesman for their business. Like, they were like, we'll give you a discount code, and then you can buy whatever you want with that discount code, and then you have to promote our products on your thing, and if you have a link, and if so many people use your link, then that means that we'll start sending you PR for 6 months on a temporary basis, and if you make even more sales with that, then you'll be put on our permanent list. It was like you had to work up and I was like, I am not a used car salesman for your brand. You either like me and like my channel and you want me to talk about your product with the people who are subscribed to me, or you don't, and then don't waste my time. Don't DM me or email me. It's the same way with brands who reach out to like smaller people. I don't have time for these brands either. These brands that reach out to me and they're like, we don't want to do a sponsorship because we don't want to pay you, because God forbid, we don't want to pay you, but we want to give you an itemized list of everything that we want you to say in the video. We want to give you talking points, and we want to give wait, the talking points kill me. You can only say positive things about the brand. You can say nothing negative about the brand if we send you PR. You have to do a dedicated like 25-minute video. It's like ridiculous. And they're like, but we don't want to pay you because this is just free PR. I'm going to make this very clear. PR, it's a gift. PR is a gift. And granted, it's a very kind gift. And whenever anybody sends me PR, I do try to make sure I use it on my channel, because I don't take for granted that somebody somewhere lost money to send me those things, especially smaller brands. I definitely do not just take that and then I'm like, I scammed ya. Like, I'm not trying to join the scammer of these brands and like just take their stuff and not feature it. That's not how I do things. On the other hand, when you send somebody something and it's PR, there should be zero obligation for them to do anything with that. Because if you want a guarantee for them to do anything with that, that's now a sponsorship. You want a sponsorship. Like, you don't want, I started saying this to brands a while ago because I watched a Lauren May Beauty video, and she was very clear. She was like, I will take the product, and if I like it, I'll put it on my channel, but I'm guaranteeing an honest review. I'm not guaranteeing I'll even put it on the channel if I don't think something's wrong with it or it's not a good fit. And I watched that video and I was basically like, man, I wish I had known that like a while ago, because when I first started doing YouTube, I would honestly and truly, I would just be like, oh, of course, you want to send me this and you want like a whole dedicated video? Like, of course I'll do that. And it's like, no, that's not what that is. That's not a fair transaction for anyone. Unless it's a brand that you're like just absolutely in love with and you like really want to work with them and you're willing to do that type of stuff. It's all about personal stuff, like how you personally feel about it. I personally don't have time for brands to try and take advantage of me. I don't. And you shouldn't either. The next thing I don't have time for. This one is a little bit more personal to me. I don't have time anymore for like gossip sites. And I don't have time for people that literally are so concerned about my bank account. I don't have time for you. I stopped going on those types of sites a couple of months ago after one particular site really hurt my feelings. And it truly was just like really nasty stuff. And what bothered me the most about it, and I talked about it in a video, was the misinformation I felt was being spread. Like people claiming they knew things about me that they didn't, and people spreading things that were just not true. And after that all happened and everything went down with that, I basically decided, I was like, because I used to have time for those types of threads, even when they were about me, because my thought process was like, I am doing myself a disservice if I don't see what people are saying about me that's negative. Like, I'm doing myself a disservice by doing that. It's always important to make sure you know like what's going on about you. And I was like, I am doing myself a disservice if I'm not reading those types of things, even if they are negative, because I could be missing out on some really valid and constructive criticism. And then I just started realizing, like, the more and more I became, for a time, I became like obsessed with reading those negative things about me and those hateful things. And I was just looking at it and I was just like, I would just get so angry. I would just get so sad because it would put me in like a horrible, horrible headspace because I'd read those things that were just not true. Like, they just weren't, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even like objectively like maybe this could be true. They were like spewing facts that are just factually incorrect. I think the funniest one that I read was that I can't remember the exact wording, but it was basically that like my boyfriend pays for everything and I don't pay for anything. I don't pay a dime in our relationship and he buys me all of my makeup and he pays all of our bills. And to me, that's just so laughably not the truth and so laughably not true that I just like that's the moment where I had to just like stop. And I still sometimes will get DMs or people will tell me if something like really mean is being said there, and I kind of just wish they wouldn't, because what am I gonna do? Like, what do I do when somebody says something that's really mean and really untrue to me? What am I supposed to do with that information? There's nothing I really can do about that information. I heard recently that they were talking, there was a thread that was talking about my boyfriend and his disability. I just don't have time for like people who very obviously just don't like me, which is fine, and don't care about the growth of my channel, don't care about my channel itself. Like, they obviously don't care about any of that. They obviously just hate everything I do. And it's like, I don't have time to sit and read what those people have to say, because they're not saying it because they want to like help me or make me a better person. They're saying it because they hate me. And I don't know why it took me so long to just figure that out and just accept that. I think it's because deep down, I've always had a very much like, I've always been a people pleaser type of person. I want to try to get them to like me. I don't like leaving things of people just not liking me, but these people don't. There's a group of people that don't. And honestly, there's nothing I can do about that. So I don't have time to read about that anymore. I don't have time to read the unhealthy and negative stuff that gets posted about me. And going off the bank account thing, I don't care if you think I'm a spoiled brat who gets handed everything on a silver platter. I don't care if you think my parents are millionaires. I don't care anymore. I don't have time for it anymore, because I know the truth, because believe it or not, I'm living my own life right now. And I know the exact truth of what's going on in my finances and what's going on in my life. And I can safely say, it's so ironic that all this gets brought up when I'm literally like the most financially stable I've ever been in my entire life. Like, of course, this is the time I'm getting dragged. I don't have time for people who just want to spread false information and like spread lies and spread things that just aren't true because they swear they heard me say it in a video, but there's no proof of me saying it in a video because it's not true, because I never said it. Like, I don't have time for it anymore. I just don't. I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince people who have already made up their mind about me who I am. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I forgot all of my eye brushes. I'll be right back. Also, honestly and truly, and this is just a side note, being so obsessed with someone's finances to the point of like continually posting about it like a ton, it's just weird. It's kind of just creepy. And I like just don't have time to be creeped out anymore. I don't have time to be weirded out by why people are so obsessed with this very small detail of my life that I now no longer speak about because so many people freaking hate me for it. So that's how I feel about that. This is the Midas Cosmetics collab with Glam by Julie called the Temptations palette. I actually haven't played with this at all yet. I got it in PR earlier this week and I just haven't had a chance to sit down and play with it, but it looks really cool. I'm really proud of Julie because I think this is such a pretty collab and I love the color story. I think it's really different and cool and it's a big palette. I'll link this down below though, and you guys can, I do have a code with them, but also use Julie's code because like this is her child, you know? Unfortunately, I have to do a more muted look because I'm filming a video where I'm gonna be doing a lot of different stuff, so I can't really do anything crazy with this, but I don't have time and I'm doing this right now. I don't have time, or honestly, I think it's really, it should just change this to things I think that are screwed up. I don't have time for unpaid internships. I have to do an internship right now that is like, I think I have to get 440 hours over the course of the next 2 semesters. And guess what? This is the kicker. You're not, even if like they offer you payment for your work, you're not allowed to take it. Even though the agency is like, hey, this happened to me, this is why I'm salty. And they were like, we really like you and we want to pay you. And I was like, oh my God, that would be like amazing. And then they were like, can't do that. And I have friends who work like 9 to 5 and my college was basically like, sucks to suck. You might have to quit your job. Like to do this unpaid internship. Like my one friend has like a child. She has like a daughter. One of my good friends, she has a daughter. And she was like, okay, guess I might have to just like marry my boyfriend real quick so I can have health insurance for my daughter because the school is telling me in order to graduate I have to quit my job to do an unpaid internship. Like what? They literally come in and tell you for the internship, they come in, the first thing they tell you, they're like, here's the order of operations. This is my school too. I don't know about other schools, but they're like, your classes come first and then your internship and then everything else. And you're just like, what? What about mental health? First of all, like we're social workers, let's talk about that. But second of all, like what about people who have freaking jobs? Like people, I just can't comprehend. And the other thing about unpaid internships too is like it's so incredibly privileged to get to do an unpaid internship. It makes it so much harder for people. At least when I went to community college and like the people there, if you already had a job in the social services field, they would allow you to just use that as your internship. And you could just go to work and use that as your internship, which I'm like, what is the problem with doing that here? And that's the problem I have with like 4-year universities sometimes is there's definitely this mindset at 4-year universities that this is the only thing you could possibly be doing in your life is college because they're kind of catered to kids who are like 18 to 21 and this is like their main thing that they're doing and like maybe they work part-time, but like programs like mine don't take into account unconventional students like myself and my peers because we all do night classes because of the other things we have going on in our lives and we do that for a reason. It's not just for fun, it's because we like, you know, have to make money other ways. And it makes it, honestly, I've seen my classmates and even myself, like we've struggled with this concept of like, you might have to give up the thing that makes you money in order to get a piece of paper that will in turn help you make more money, but like not immediately. Like that's in the long term. You have to forego your short-term security in order to get long-term success. And I just don't think that's right. I think the idea of unpaid internship is so old-fashioned and honestly just so outdated. There is no reason that students should be just giving like free labor for no reason. And I'm not even saying like, I get the benefit of doing field work. I get the benefit of going into the field and working in a position. I totally like love the benefits of that. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous to expect students to like drop everything in the rest of their life. Be like, screw the rest of your life. This is what matters now. This is the important thing now. Nothing else matters. I don't know. It just seems really unfair to me, and having to watch, for me, it's a little bit easier because one of my main sources of income is YouTube. So I can do this anytime. Like I can do this whenever. And it's also not the thing that I rely on to pay my bills. So I'm in a very privileged position. That doesn't mean I don't conceptually hate it. Conceptually, I really dislike it. I don't think it's fair. I think it honestly discourages people who are in lower socioeconomic classes to go to college because you're basically saying you have to quit. They can't. There are so many people who can't afford to just quit their job for a year, especially because it's a year-long semester. It's not even like an over the summer. It's not even like a couple months. And it was the same thing when my boyfriend was student teaching. That was a horrific time because when you're student teaching, you literally can't work. You can't. And they don't pay you. You're you're going in and working, my boyfriend was probably working 60 hours a week during his student teaching, and he didn't get paid a cent. And he couldn't work another job because what was he gonna do? Like, he didn't have anything else he could do to make money because he had to work during normal working hours. And it was tough. Like, that was a really tough time for us, just in all aspects, because it's like, what can Charles even do? You know what I mean? And it's the same way with everything. We want people to go get an education. I don't know why I didn't even put a shimmer shade on this. I just started putting on mascara. I'm a rep. We want people to go and get jobs, and we push the importance of education. But at the same time, a college education is still an incredibly privileged thing to be able to get. Not only with the money you have to pay, but in the time you have to be able to commit to it. I think it's getting a little bit better because at least now there are online options, and there are like night classes that help I call it non-traditional students because that's what all my faculty call me, but that help non-traditional students who need to be able to like do other things. I don't have time for unpaid internships. Nobody has time for unpaid internships, and it's nutty to me that that is still like an expected standard that we hold students to in this day and age. Let's do some petty ones. I don't have time for jewelry. I just don't. The most I'll ever do with jewelry is I have like earrings sometimes that I buy at like a 10 pack at Forever 21, and I basically just put them in my ears and don't stop wearing them until I lose one, and then I grab another pair from the 10 pack, and then so on the cycle. So every year I probably lose about $2 to lost earrings. I always tell the people I love, like I told Charles, I was like, do not ever buy me jewelry. I lose it, I can't wear it, I don't even like wearing it. I don't have time when I'm getting ready in the morning to style jewelry along with the rest of my outfit. I have very, very little jewelry. The only jewelry I actually have is stuff that I've like, it's either like Forever 21 cheapo, like cheapest thing you could possibly buy because I don't like spending money on jewelry, or it's like stuff that I've inherited from family members that I'll never wear because I'm so scared I'm gonna lose it. I'm not even entirely convinced that I like want like a wedding ring because I might lose it. Like, I've never worn something consistently for a long time and had it pay off. The only real thing I do is earrings, and that's literally it. Let's do highlighter. I picked up this highlighter from Benefit, the cookie highlighter, because Teresa is dead, just will not stop talking about it, and it's honestly beautiful. Literally, I feel face-tuned when I wear this, like in real life face-tuned. Thank you, Teresa, you're the queen. I think that's everything for me. This was things I don't have time for / to get ready with me. I'm sorry that this is like super long. Probably gonna chop it down a lot in editing. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face, everything I just put on my face, will be linked down below, along with a link to register to vote. You can go take part in your local, state, and federal elections. If you click on that link, you'll have everything you need to take part in it. And also, if you don't live in the United States and you live in a different country, make sure you're keeping up with your government. Make sure you're keeping up with what's going on. Use your voice in any way you can to help out what's going on, because the world itself is falling apart. Also, tell me what you don't have time for down below, because I want to know. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye!